Hello. Tony Besson here with Notary Calendar. I am going to do an update on, I guess this is more of an introduction, not really an update on the work schedule thing. It's kind of an update because it used to be in your profile at the very bottom where you just manually typed in your working hours. The system actually was on your profile. You used to have a work start, work end, which worked for every single day. And we just updated this because it needed to be. And it was one of those things. I've got a whole list of modifications I want to make. And it's a matter of prioritizing it, right? You got to figure out which ones are the most important, most critical. And we finally got to this one. It was on the list as far as critical ones that needed to be done. And now we've got it. So it took a lot of work, took a lot of effort on my developer's part. And I think he's done a pretty stellar job. I like the way he laid it out. So, yeah, I mean, it's each day, Sunday through Saturday. So some of you might have a work schedule. You know, maybe you're working a regular job during the day and you're only available at night. You can put in your exact hours on each day. It's pretty self-explanatory on that part. A couple ones down here. The deactivate is pretty obvious too. You just click it and you can have it set till a specific date if you want. If you're gone till the end of the month, just put that, deactivate, and it should turn back on. I haven't actually tested that myself because I don't want to deactivate myself. I want work to keep coming in. I guess I have several test accounts. I could do that. I never thought about that. But so yeah, if you need to deactivate your profile temporarily, you can do that and set the date, and it should automatically reactivate. At this point, I would go double check and make sure it does. Even if I didn't, I mean, SnapDocs has a similar feature, and I did that one time. I was out of town for a week or something like that, and I deactivated. But when I got back, I made sure that it was still active. So I always do that just out of paranoia. So I mean, if it's your livelihood, then you better make sure that things are set up right. Correct. So this one's going to take a minute, so that's why I saved it for last. Lead time, and this came about from a couple of conversations. There's one lady locally here that I've networked with before, and she said, well, here's a challenge I have. So it gave me an example. Just last week, I was home, right, and I decided to get my yard work done. I had a gap in my schedule. I didn't have any appointments. And that's what she does. She squeezes in yard work and chores in between her appointments, right? If I have some free time, I do this. And she said, I can't just drop what I'm doing in the yard. If somebody books me immediately, and I can't just drop what I'm doing in the yard, go in, I have to shower, I have to do my hair, I have to do all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's like 10 minutes, right? She's like, what? I'm just playing. For me, it is. As a guy, it's 10 minutes. You know, even though this is a little bit longer than normal right now, it's still, I can shower, be dressed, out the door in 10 minutes if I hustle, right? But obviously, you ladies have a little more work to do, which is fine. It is what it is. But there was that conversation. Then I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on her name. Sorry if you're listening. But no, she mentioned something similar where another, I can't remember what platform it was, but they have what they call the buffer time, right? Which a lot of other booking systems have buffers, right? Which is different than calculating drive time. But the buffer time she was referring to is I can tell the system not to book me for the next hour. That way I don't have to just drop what I'm doing, which made a lot of sense. As I thought about it, I'm going, yeah, that's a good point. So we got this one. It's called lead time, right? So if you're at home and you're working on projects or you're this or that, or maybe you don't have any appointments till noon and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, if somebody was to book you, obviously the system is going to calculate drive time from your home office to wherever they're at. But that means if it's 9 in the morning and it's a 30-minute drive to where they're at, the system's going to show your first availability at 9:30. Somebody could go book you at 9:30. You get the order, and you're like, oh, I got to drop everything and go right now because it's going to take me 30 minutes to get there. So you either have to be ready at all times to go, which doesn't happen often anyway. Before we even had this, I think I had that twice. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But as people use the system more and more, that is going to become a problem. So now what you can do is add a lead time that says, I need this much time. Don't show me for 15 minutes. So in that example I was using, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, you don't have an appointment until noon. Somebody looks at your schedule, it's a 30-minute drive away. Without the lead time, it's going to show your first availability at 9:30. With a 15-minute lead time like I've got, it's going to show my availability at 9:45. It's going to add that 15 minutes into the drive time and say, he needs 45 minutes. You put this at 30 minutes. If you put it at 60, it's going to show your first availability at 10:30. Possibly. That might depend on how far your noon appointment is, right? If your noon appointment is 45 minutes away and it's a 60-minute appointment, it's not going to show you available at all. So the system's designed to be intuitive and proactive and see everything you need to do to be able to get from place to place and also get ready to leave the house. So however much lead time you need to prepare to leave your house to get to an appointment is what you want to put in there. And this is another one. You might have to tweak a little bit and play with it. But I can, for the most part, be out in 15 minutes, even if I haven't showered, because it's not uncommon that I don't have an appointment till noon. Right? And then maybe I have 3 or 4. And as you know, if you do loan signings, a lot of it's last minute. I can wake up with one appointment on the calendar, and by the time the day's over, I've done 8 or 9. It's pretty wild and crazy, right? So that's kind of the way this business is. You have to get used to it. If you don't like that, then maybe this isn't the right business, right? But this is a nice feature where now I have at least 15 minutes to get ready if I need to. So, alrighty. Pretty simple, but also a very powerful and an awesome new feature that we've got that I'm looking forward to hearing back from those that were asking for it. So, all right, y'all have a great day. God bless. Bye.